Hiya folks, Annie here from AnnieandLarry.com. Okay. Hiya folks, Annie here from AnnieandLarry.com and welcome to the channel. In tonight's episode, I want to talk to you about knowing your limits and knowing the car's limits. But I also want to talk about the previous episode where I spoke about having a zero incident race and how that can benefit you and help you with your confidence and your iRating and your safety rating and hopefully getting yourself out of the bottom splits. So I tested that theory or practice again during this race and it did work. I started 15th and I finished 6th and I avoided absolutely every incident that there was, apart from when I accidentally went off-road and I had 1x. But apart from that, it went fantastic. So let's go and have a look. So at the start of the race, I noticed these two guys pulling to the left, and I thought to myself, oh, hold on, what's up? But then I realized they most probably have the same strategy as I do, and they're holding back and keeping back, waiting for the notorious first lap, first turn incidents. And then unfortunately, I think I maybe startled him by braking too hard or too early or something, I'm not too sure, and he spun out. But luckily he didn't hit me. So yeah, I'm thankful for that. So I was staying back, keeping calm, staying collected. As you can see off the throttle, not pushing myself too hard because I knew that I could spin the car out on the cold tires. But I have to admit, my heart did sink a little bit when I saw them pulling away from me. But I know during my practice session, the upcoming turn, I just messed it up on the cold tires. So I kept back because I was scared about, what's going to happen in this turn on the cold tires. And as you can see, one bloke did spin out and a second bloke did spin out as well. And luckily, and a third one. And luckily I missed them because I held back and I was just...
Car on your left. Left is clear.
Rico is leading the race.
Leading up to the next turn, I did see him in my rearview mirror go on the inside, and I just let him go because I was scared that if I turn in like I would normally do for that turn, I was going to hit him, and most probably I would have if I did my normal race line for that turn. So I went a little bit wide, and I just let him go. Now on this turn I thought this was going to be a big accident because from my point of view in the race it looked like he was going to hit that car, but seeing it from this angle it was actually quite a nice move. And just again on this turn, because I was struggling during practice, I was just taking it slow and he nearly hit me.
On your right.
There's an incident in Le Mans. We think it might be white.
Clear right.
Now leading up to the last turn, I was trying various race lines during practice and I couldn't find my rhythm, so I just kept back because I was too scared what's going to happen. But coming around the corner I noticed this. The car's going into the pits, and if you look at the pit lane, I missed all of the first lap incidents and I didn't end up in that pit. And I was so chuffed with that because I jumped 7 places just by doing nothing. I didn't pass them with nothing special. I just kept back and I avoided all the incidents. So that strategy definitely works for me. I was really, really happy with that. Okay, so jumping ahead to lap 4. By this stage I've sort of found a rhythm, the tyres are warm, I'm feeling a little bit more confident and I'm slowly but surely starting to pushing my limits. Now I'll get back to that in a wee while, but first let's just have a look at the race. I started to close the gap but still being wary not to crash or spin out or do something silly. So I was trying to stay calm and just keep it under control. And I'm also aware of the fact that with my skill level, I'm not good enough yet to create the opportunity to pass. So what I'm trying to do is to put a little bit of pressure on him to wait till he creates the opportunity for me to pass him. And if it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't happen, well done, you know, for keeping that pressure. Because I've had it done to me loads of times in my previous races where the guy comes up from behind, he puts that pressure on, and I panic and I spin out or I crash or whatever, and there he goes. So I'm trying to do that myself now, if I can, with my skill level. So at this stage, I thought I could pass, but I just, at that, you know, I didn't feel comfortable. It wasn't the right place on the track for me to pass. And again, that's what I was saying, you know, instead of creating the opportunity, I should just wait for him to give me the opportunity. So I was just sitting patiently behind him.
Okay, Annie, stay close. Wait for him to make a mistake. The leader's
hopefully
just
not
done
lose him.
228.73.
That was the thing that I was worried about the whole time, you know, just don't lose him, you know, just keep with him. Especially around this turn, because, you know, folks take turns differently. You can see with my pedals, I'm a little bit more confident now on the warm tires. So I'm putting a little bit more pressure on and again pushing myself that little bit extra.
Nice one, Annie. Good pass. Nice front.
So lap 10. In the beginning of the video, I spoke about knowing the limits. Now for me, that is knowing my limits versus the car's limits. During my practice session, I really pushed myself to all kinds of uncomfortable levels. I really pushed the car because I know and I've seen what the car can do, but I can't do it yet. So I was doing fantastic, lovely maneuvers during practice, but it didn't match my strategy of 0 incidents. I had loads of off track, I span out a couple of times, and I even crashed. So I need to realize, and I did realize, that my skill level does not match what the car can actually do. And that's a hard pill for me to swallow, because I really want to do alien speeds, but I just can't. I just don't have that skill level. So for me, it's important to figure out and work out where my limits are and try and match that with what the car will allow me to do. On various of these turns, I tried different race lines, which I've seen done. I've seen people go through various turns full throttle. I just can't. I know the car can, and Larry's told me millions of times, trust the car can do it. I just can't. But it's good fun learning. And for me, it's important to know where my limits are, because I think then I won't spin out, crash, get off roads. My I rating won't drop. I avoid incidents by anticipating where people are going. That awareness, it all links up for me. The awareness, my limits, the car's limits, everybody else's limits. It's just starting slowly but surely to make a whole new big picture for me. And I'm learning, and it's fun. So, apart from my zero incidents strategy, I am going to mix that up with knowing my limits on every track with the car, and hopefully I'll get even better results. I started 15th, I ended 6th. My I rating in total over 2 races went up by 84 points. I'm 1 split up, if I can remember correctly, and my safety rating went up. And without even trying, I got my C license. Now, that's scary because, C license, but by no means, I'm still going to do what I've been doing, learning, and just keep going and keep calm and hopefully keep that picture and keep Race Annie away. So hopefully what I've learned will help you. Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what your limits are with your car. Have you figured it out yet? If you haven't, hopefully this will help. If you have, how did you work it out? If you haven't done so before, hit the subscribe button and please follow us on Facebook. I'll be starting to do a little bit of vlog style things on Facebook. It's Snail Racing 005 on Facebook, and I'll see you in next week's episode. Happy racing!